Imagine trying to create a simple furniture polish, something to make your wooden table shine, and instead, you invent a material that will fundamentally change the world forever. That might sound like a far-fetched plot from a movie, but it's the true story of how chemist Leo Baekeland created plastic ... completely by accident. This single mistake in a small lab would set off a chain reaction that continues to shape our lives, our planet, and our future in ways no one could have predicted. Back in the early 1900s, the world was on the brink of an industrial explosion. Factories were churning out new inventions at an incredible pace, but they were running into a major roadblock. They needed materials that were strong, lightweight, moldable, and most importantly, cheap. At the time, industries relied heavily on natural resources. Think about the elegant telephones of the era, the intricate jewelry, or even the handles on fine cutlery. Many of these were made from materials like ivory, tortoiseshell, or shellac, a resin secreted by a tiny bug. These materials were not only beautiful but also incredibly expensive and, by their very nature, limited. You can only get so much ivory from an elephant or shellac from an insect. This scarcity was a bottleneck for progress. Industries were desperate for a synthetic alternative, a man-made substance that could be produced in vast quantities without plundering the natural world. The race was on to find this miracle material. Enter Leo Baekeland, a brilliant Belgian chemist who had already made a fortune by inventing a new type of photographic paper. Now living in New York, he set his sights on a new challenge. He wasn't trying to invent a world-changing material, at least not at first. His goal was much more modest: to find a synthetic replacement for shellac. Shellac was widely used as a protective coating on everything from wooden furniture to the electrical wiring inside new technologies. Baekeland thought that if he could create a cheap, lab-made version, he'd have another successful product on his hands. He began experimenting with two common chemicals: phenol, a smelly byproduct of coal tar, and formaldehyde, a pungent gas typically used as a preservative. He mixed them, heated them, and meticulously documented his results, inching closer to what he hoped would be a liquid varnish. He was on the right track, but a moment of scientific curiosity, or perhaps just a happy accident, was about to lead him down a completely different path. One day, while experimenting, Baekeland decided to see what would happen if he cranked up the heat and the pressure far beyond his usual methods. He sealed his mixture of phenol and formaldehyde inside a heavy iron vessel he called a bakelyzer. As the temperature and pressure climbed, the sticky, amber liquid inside began to transform. But instead of creating a better varnish, something completely unexpected happened. The liquid hardened into an amber-colored solid. When Baekeland took it out, he found it was unlike anything he had ever seen. It was incredibly strong. He tried to melt it, but it wouldn't liquefy. He tried to burn it, but it resisted the flame. It was an excellent electrical insulator. And most remarkably, it could be molded into any shape imaginable while it was being formed. But once set, it was permanent. He hadn't just made a substitute for shellac. He had created the world's first entirely synthetic plastic, a material born not from nature, but purely from human ingenuity. Baekeland, ever the savvy entrepreneur, immediately knew he had stumbled onto something monumental. He named his creation Bakelite, a nod to his own name. Initially, its applications were practical and industrial. Because it was a great insulator, it was perfect for the burgeoning electrical industry, used in radios, telephone casings, and electrical plugs. The automotive industry also embraced it, using Bakelite for distributor caps, knobs, and dashboard components. But soon its beauty and versatility captured the public's imagination. Bakelite was molded into colorful jewelry, stylish Art Deco radio cabinets, kitchenware, and even children's toys. It was marketed as the material of 1,000 uses, and for a while it seemed like an understatement. Bakelite was everywhere, a symbol of modernity and progress. It was the dawn of the plastic age, a time when anything seemed possible, thanks to this miraculous man-made substance. The success of Bakelite was just the beginning. It proved that synthetic polymers were possible, opening the floodgates for a tidal wave of chemical innovation. Inspired by Baekeland's breakthrough, scientists around the world began experimenting with other chemical combinations. In the decades that followed, we got nylon, which revolutionized textiles, PVC, which transformed construction, and polyethylene, which gave us everything from shopping bags to milk jugs. These new plastics were even cheaper, more versatile, and easier to produce than Bakelite. They transformed medicine with sterile disposable equipment. They made food safer and last longer through packaging. They made technology lighter, faster, and more accessible. Our modern world, in so many ways, is built on the foundation of that one happy accident in Baekeland's lab. But this story has a dark twist. The very quality that made plastic so revolutionary, its durability, its resistance to breaking down, also became its greatest curse. The material designed to last forever began to pile up, creating a new and monumental problem: plastic pollution. So, here we are, over a century later, living in the world that Leo Baekeland accidentally created. His discovery reshaped modern life, giving us unprecedented convenience, innovation, and progress. It truly was a miracle material. But it also left us with a complex and challenging legacy. Every piece of plastic ever created, unless it has been incinerated, still exists somewhere on this planet. Baekeland's invention gave us a world of convenience, but it also left us with a problem that will outlive us all. A permanent reminder of the unintended consequences that can arise from a single, brilliant mistake. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more strange science and true stories. We'll see you in the next one.